Yikes. Old yogis now. The idea here, what I'm trying to say is that what kind of a construct as a lifestyle, as a personality, can be created or can be fashioned to promote an infinite consciousness. What are the options? And that's where it made this Adam again. He's following the sadhu path. These are all paths on the same internal self-discovery, just different outward manifestations. Everything has a trade-off. He teaches yoga, meditation, Shiva dancing wild, right?
Yeah.
And the rainbow.
Freedom and fearlessness.
Yeah, and fearlessness. And me, I take my motor home to Burning Man, but it's age related, that's all. I have a certain, just how it is. But it's the same philosophy. We're teaching the tools necessary to those that need it most, which are those exploring in consciousness and trying to give them a stable background, right? Saying, okay, yeah, you can do all this stuff, but it has to make sense to your life. You have to bring it into your life. Otherwise, you're doing Burning Man or 2 weeks festivals here and there, but your whole life is kind of like not working. Or if it's working, great. I mean, I'm not projecting anything here, but the idea, don't you think, it has to be complete. Your life has to reflect who you think you are. And if you're pretending to be the infinite universe experiencing its human form again, right? You better get that image right. Better make sense to you. So that's the real message here is stable.
It's about exposure
and stabilizing it, right? Being
stable.
Real to yourself.
Yes.
How do you be real to yourself? Did you just wake up one morning and say, "I'm going to dress like this," or did I? No, it was evolving process. When Yogic first told me to wear a turban, I go, "I'm not joining a religion." I got away from religion. That's why I became who I am. I'm taking yoga to have free of all this stuff. I don't want another religion. And it took time for me to observe the implications of having a life, moving through life, and having a form in that life that would make sense to continue to remind me of who I was, an awakened consciousness. So these things can be useful. These forms can be useful. Choose one that resonates with you, right? Choose one that, whatever that can be, and get into it. Become it. What does Taoist think? Oh, Adam. Yes.
Be determined. Stick with your convictions.
Yeah, and where do you, see, this is the thing, where do you get those convictions? And I think, in our case, they were part of ourselves from the beginning, right?
Yeah, ingrained.
But they're not even conditioned. No one taught me how to be compassionate. It's just who I, They had to teach me how to be an asshole. That's what I learned. But compassion was always there.
We've had some beautiful teachers in our lifetime whose actions we want to reflect.
I think so. I think that's how the conditioned learning mind, we see something that a way is being explored, a neurological way is being explored even, or, it's like all this together, and you say, well, maybe I could use that pathway a little bit towards where I'm going. It doesn't have to be the whole pathway, for God's sake, because who knows where the heck he's going. But the point being is the idea is to leave some breadcrumbs, right? And say, well, you can use this. The cautionary tale behind it is, pay attention. You can't go to sleep in this. You can't do alcohol. You can't do weird mind-numbing things. You've got to find a way to elevate yourself continually in all phases, right? Your whole life. So those are the pathways. That's how I determine the pathway. You know, does it make me happy? Does it make me laugh? Is there a level of grace there? Because, again, no matter how good we get at this stuff, explaining, and me, I'm really good at this. You know, I'm relatively good at this. In my own mind, I'm a genius, okay? However, explaining myself to myself on an infinite background is almost a joke. I mean, it's like a quick, yeah, like, that's funny. Ha, ha, ha. You know?
Yes, for me, it's very much about coming into the sacred places. You know, you have to steadily remind yourself. So go to your church, go to your meditation hall, the boudoir, the temple.
Well, then you're saying give it respect, right? In other words,
yes.
not just because you're going to show off the typical Sunday clothes, but you're going to, you actually make it a pilgrimage in your own mind, right? That's what I do when I go before the Guru. I have to envision the whole lineage, try to understand that whole idea of what brought this sarup, this form. And then I can bow, because I bow to that. And it takes me a little bit of time to go through that, right? So, yeah.
So that's I get that there at the temples, at churches, even at the Rainbow Gathering.
Of course, and me too. Everywhere we go.
And then that turns into kind of reflection my whole pilgrimage. Just this is kind of just another camp or stop or
he goes by and checks in occasionally. Wonder how Suk's doing. Well, I need a good laugh.
Yes. It's a good.
So this is what we're sharing, just conversations between us. Kind of in my case more than Adam. Adam's more devotional in the sense of I'm more ironic. You know, I can't help but see the humor in this stuff, and I know Adam does too to some degree because he hangs out with me a bit. But you know, there's a sacredness to it all, right? Isn't that it?
Sacred workshop.
Yeah, but it's just continual for me. You know, I've got so much work to do. I'm never done. You know, but we are designing our own mental landscapes. We're on our own. This is how I tend to see it down. Our own ways of the prism of our mind that we're allowing new facets to come in to examine ourselves, new perspective. Okay, well, how does it look from there? And you go, whoa, that looks pretty strange. You know, that's all it is, guys. And that would be the message for us is to be yourself, of course. You know, who else you're going to be. But take the time to know who that could be, who you like. Find that part of yourself, right? The essence of yourself. What else can you do, right? Are you the baby Jesus? Or are you the grown-up Jesus, you know? Where are you along that timeline of your perceptive self-awareness? You know, at least make acknowledgement of that. Hopefully it's in the right here and now, right? This is it. Nothing else going on. That past, well, that's a nice story, you know? It's not a story. All we have is the right here and now. And once that, I think that's established, you know? Once that's established, it's like, well, how are you doing? Good
all
to
its
see
silliness and gloriness
and beauty and grace and all of that. All right, we'll stop this one now and get on in a bit.